Carnegie sat up suddenly. He felt a sharp pain on the side of his head. He put his hand to it as he groaned under the pain. He looked at his hand. There was blood. What had happened? Carnegie tried to remember what had happened. Where was he? "Oliver, are you okay?" cried a woman's voice. Carnegie looked towards the voice. The woman crawled towards him, but there were bars in between them. It was dark. Before long, Carnegie could see who it was. "Olivia?" he said faintly. "Yes, Oliver, it's me. It's your wife." Oliver sighed a sigh of relief. He was so glad to see her. "Can you come to me?" she asked. Oliver slowly nodded, still confused at what was going on. He crawled to Olivia, and she grabbed his hand tightly. "I'm so happy to see you," she said. "Me too." "Do you remember anything?" she asked. Oliver tried to think, but his brain just wasn't working. He couldn't recall anything. Olivia noticed his lack of a response. "Here, let me help," she said. "It was about yesterday whenever someone got murdered at your office. You would call me to tell me to stay home. We did, but we unfortunately got kidnapped by someone. I at least assumed so. We got knocked cold and we found ourselves in this prison cell. I assume we're at the city police station. It wasn't until about last night when they threw you in here. You were unconscious too. Based on the sunlight, I assume it's in the morning." Suddenly everything came to Oliver in a flood. "Yes, I now remember. The accusers, the book, they're all against us." "Oliver, calm down. What are you talking about?" "I'll tell you. Where's Lydia?" "Where's Miss Abby?" he said frantically. "They're here too. Lydia, come over here." Slowly and quietly, Oliver's 5-year-old daughter crawled over. "Hi, Lydia," said Oliver. "My girl, how are you?" "I'm okay, Daddy. I was scared for you." "Where were you?" Oliver's heart filled with love. "I'm so sorry that you were scared. I was looking for you and Mommy. Are you okay?" "Yeah. I remember falling asleep in my bed because I was tired. I then woke up here." "They didn't knock her out, Oliver," Olivia clarified. Oliver pursed his lips. His fatherly instincts began to kick in. Even though the accusers didn't hurt her, she was already taking a nap, he was still angry that they had kidnapped her. They had threatened his daughter. They had hurt his wife. And for this, they will pay. Justice must be served. As this was going in his mind, his brain began to function again. He started to remember things. "Olivia, I remember what happened," he said. He then reached around him, searching around him. "Have you seen a book nearby?" "A book?" asked Olivia. "Yes, there's this really important book. It explains everything that's going on." "No, I haven't seen any book, Oliver." At hearing that, Oliver's passions got the best of him and he punched the ground. "They probably took it." "Who, the policeman?" "No, well, yes, see, there are these accusers. They're an extensive group of people that has all of the city against us. Yes, everyone is against us. Everyone is an accuser. The policemen took the book, even though they are indirectly and kind of directly also part of the accusers, and so the accusers also took the book." "Oliver, this sounds insane. Why would these people steal a book?" "Because it exposes them. It was probably written by that man who got shot at my office. But that's the thing. It explains everything about the accusers. That's why it's so important. And that's why they want that book." Olivia looked down. "But what do they want? They want us gone. They hate that non-Alcitonian has such power in society. And so they have made this extensive play to capture us and get us out." "But isn't that illegal?" "Very, and we need to stop them." "How are we supposed to do that?" asked Olivia. "Well," said Oliver, "we need to get out of here somewhere." Oliver stood up and looked around the cell. He walked over to the bars in the door. He pushed on it lightly, and it moved. This surprised Oliver, and he looked closer. He pushed the door harder, and it swung open. "Look, it's not locked," he remarked. "Really?" said Olivia. "It was locked before." "Why would they leave the door unlocked?" he asked himself. "It seems too intentional to be on accident. But why? Oh, I get it now. What is it? They want us to leave Altiston. The accusers want us to leave and never return." "Okay," said Olivia. "What should we do then?" "I'm guessing we find the book. It's probably not far from here. Then we try to make our escape. Maybe we can get help from a nearby town." "Okay." Oliver looked back at her. Is everything okay? Olivia looked back, looking shaken. She quickly dismissed this. Yes, Oliver, I'm okay. Olivia then grabbed Lydia and held her hand. They silently left the cell, walking slowly so to not disturb anyone. There was a hallway, with many more cells on our right and left. However, towards the right, Oliver noticed a door that might be the way out. He motioned to Olivia to follow him. Hello? Is someone there? Came a voice. Oliver turned around. He recognized the voice. Hello? He responded. Mayor Carnegie, is that you? Came the voice. It was Miss Abby. Yes, it's me, he said as he ran towards the voice. Oliver saw Miss Abby sitting in a cell. He pulled on the cell door and it opened easily. Like their cell, there was no lock on the door. Oliver took that as a sign that Miss Abby was also someone who should leave Altiston. Come with us, Miss Abby. We're going to escape. Yes, sir. And so, Miss Abby, Olivia Carnegie, Lydia Carnegie, and Oliver Carnegie left the jail room where all the cells were at. They entered into a smaller hallway with a closet. The hallway led into a larger room, closer to the exit of the police station. Oliver turned to Olivia. Go into the closet. I'm going to get that book. We can't leave without it. Olivia nodded and turned to Lydia. Come here, Lydia. We're going to hide here real quick. Wait, said Lydia. Where's Daddy going? Don't worry, said Olivia. Daddy's going to grab something real quick. No, Daddy, don't go again, Lydia said quite loudly. Oliver turned to Olivia. He frowned. Do you think she's going to be loud if I leave? Olivia turned to Lydia and looked back at him. Unfortunately, I think so. Okay, well, we need to get that book somehow. Let me get it, offered Olivia. Oliver looked at her. Are you sure? Yes, just tell me what it looks like and I can find it. Oliver thought about it, weighing his options. Okay, it's a small book with a blue cover. It's not much bigger than a pamphlet. Be careful, my love. Okay, thank you, and I promise that I'll be careful. Oliver and Olivia shared a quick kiss, and Olivia handed Lydia to Oliver. Olivia then slipped away as Oliver, Lydia, and Miss Abby slipped into the nearby closet. Oliver knew that even though the accusers don't want them in Altiston, and now that Oliver didn't want his family in Altiston anymore, Oliver knew that he had to stay quiet. While the accusers could just throw them out if they get caught, Oliver wasn't sure that that would be everything. Oliver wanted to make sure that their escape goes with no problems. Because of this, he determined that they had to stay quiet and out of sight. Where's Mommy? Asked Lydia. Don't worry, Lydia. Your mother is going to grab something real quick. She'll be right back, said Miss Abby. Oliver grabbed Lydia and held her tight. Your mommy will be back, but we need to stay quiet, okay? Can you do that for me? Yes, Daddy, I promise to stay quiet, Lydia whispered. Lydia then hugged Oliver tight, keeping herself quiet. They stayed there, sitting in the closet, waiting for Olivia to get back. Oliver thought about the past 24 hours. So much has happened. His whole life has changed. Everything about how he thought he was going to raise his family now was dramatically different from what he imagined. All because of these accusers and their awful scheme. Oliver heard a knock on the door, and he began to open it carefully. He thought that it may be Olivia, but was worried that it might be one of the accusers. I got it! I got the book! We can go now, whispered Olivia's voice. Relieved, Oliver opened the door, and they all left the closet. Olivia gave Oliver the small book, and Oliver looked through it. He was amazed at how many problems the small book caused for so many people. Once everyone was gathered back together, Oliver told them to follow him as he knew the way out of the police station. They did so, following right behind Oliver. Soon enough, Oliver saw the final door out. It was like the light at the end of a dark tunnel. Suddenly, he guided his family to the door. However, he suddenly heard a voice behind him. Stop right there, or they die. Oliver turned around, and to his horror, he saw Olivia and Miss Abby behind, held by two men who had a knife held against their throats. Olivia held Lydia close by her. Behind these two men was the chief of the police. The two men seemed to be from very different backgrounds and occupations, but were together under the common name of the accusers. "What are you doing?" said Oliver sharply. "You know what I'm doing. Give me the book, and you'll have your family. This is the only evidence that I can use against you. You know that I can't give it over." "Oh, but you must," said the chief. "I assume you love your family more than you have vengeance for us. You love your family very much, so this must be an easy choice for you. Either you have the book, or your family." Oliver looked at the small blue book. It was everything. It was the key to restore his old life, his family. How could he truly have his family without this book? He looked at his wife. "Oliver," she said. "Olivia, I'm sorry," he said. He knew what to do. He bolted away, leaving his family behind. He knew that without the book, his family nor his family's life could be restored. He had chosen the book. He heard the chief call after him, yet the chief didn't send any of his men to chase him down. Oliver ran out of the building and as far away as possible with the book. No one chased after him, yet Oliver felt like the whole world was after him. He looked up and realized where he was. He was now out of the city limits of Altiston. He was in the middle of nowhere. Civilization was nowhere to be seen. Here, Oliver knew, he would not be found. Exhausted, Oliver sat down on a rock. He began to think about what just happened. He had the book, but at what cost? Suddenly, all in a rush, doubt began to flood Oliver's mind. He had left his family behind. He left his family for a book. He felt horrible. He felt disgusted with himself. He felt like he failed as a man, as a husband, as a father. He betrayed his family for a book. In anger with himself, he punched the rock that he was sitting on, which only barely hurt. He was embarrassed. He tried to come up with a plan so that he could get his family back, but realized how hard that would be. If he stepped back into Altiston, the accusers would take the book and kick him out of Altiston again. Oliver thought of Olivia's face. He felt horrible that he had now made his wife worry for his life. He thought of Miss Abby, the poor old lady who had worked so diligently for him. He thought of his daughter, Lydia, and felt awful for the horrible position he had left her in. He felt deep regret for his actions. Nonetheless, he realized that the accusers would not harm them. They want the book, and Oliver figured that they would keep his family in Altiston so that they could get the book again. So even though Oliver felt guilty, he at least knew that his family was safe, at least temporarily. Oliver's mind continued to fill with regret as he tried to come up with a plan to get his family back. He had to get his family back. While he had just ran away like a coward, he tried to find a way to get them back. He must get his family back.